Hey, welcome to this quick training about using assignment LTIs and embedding things into assignments or pages. Um, just as an FYI, you probably want to have built an assignment and page before doing this training. And so if you haven't seen those already, look at the Introduction to Canvas training or the Intro to Canvas Assignment Basics training. Either of those will help you kind of get started before getting into this today. So the first thing we're going to do is dive into assignment LTIs and the wild, awesome world of assignment LTIs. Again, invite you to pause and repeat this session as much as you need to today because I'm going to move through quickly and you'll want to go at your own pace. So with that being said, I've got my modules here created within my course. I do have a couple assignments indicated here by this that I could start to work within. I haven't built out this writing prompt 1.1 yet, so I'm going to do that right now and use an LTI to do that. So with that being said, I'm going to first click on that assignment to get into it. You could also have done that from this right-hand bar and click Add a New Assignment if you'd like. So right now I haven't built anything in this. I'm going to click Edit and jump into that assignment so I can begin to edit it. Note that if you're interested in Mastery Paths, that will come at a different training on differentiation. But what I want to do is give students a little bit of a writing prompt here. And so what I'm going to do is have them write using a Google document, potentially a template that I've given them to write in. That would be an interesting way to do this. So what I'll do here is I'm going to click, I'm going to type a little bit, watch the following video before beginning, your writing assignment. And maybe I'll give them a little video. Just maybe it's going to be discussing the template, so I could record myself doing that, or I could give them a bit more of a prompt here, which is what I'm going to do in this case. I haven't really built much of a template for them in Google Documents, where I bet a great English teacher would have done that. So I'm going to go YouTube and fill in another writing prompt. You watch the previous video. I'm going to find another dandy from Mr. John Spencer, such as you've just been shrunk down to 2 inches tall, like it. So I'm going to embed that. Okay, so that is available now as kind of an introduction. But now as I get into the assignment options, this is where I'm going to, maybe I want to include points here and submission type. Right now it's noted as no submission, but maybe I want to do it as an external tool submission. These are where you connect with some of these assignment LTIs. So all you have to do when you want to use an assignment LTI is you click on this external tool option, you click find. Okay. Now this gives me all these options, and there are so many, folks. I'm not going to be able to go through even a portion of them in this video. What I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to include the Google Docs Cloud assignment one in this one, and then later in the video I'm going to do something in another favorite of mine, K12. So when it comes to math or science. So let's do Google Doc Cloud assignment. I'm going to click on that. And now what it's going to do is it's going to link one of my Google documents as a template for students to use, meaning that when they go into this assignment, they won't have access to my document as far as editing my document, my copy of it. They'll be automatically given their own copy of it that they can submit, which is similar to Google Classroom if you're familiar. So let's go into, I don't know, let's go into this. I'm sure there is a document here that I can give students to work off. And I can see everything in my drive. Let's go to competency-based ed. And we're going to go to the Utah P20 document. And that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so now all I've done is select that document, and then I click select here. and automatically that kind of will load that up for students. I'm going to show a bit of a preview of how that'll work. I can choose to load that in a new tab or not. If not, it'll load just as you'll see here in a minute. I can choose how to assign it to everyone, and that's explained in the basics video. So I'm going to save and publish this option. Okay. All right, so this is what it will look like for students. And here is where this document will load for students as well. So let's take a peek at how that'll look for a student view. So I'm going to go to student view. Note that my piece is published here. Student view. And they click in to the writing prompt 1.1. They see watch your writing prompt, and then they're going to be asked to authorize their Google Drive if they haven't already. And once they've done that, maybe I'll do that quickly. Oh, I can't do that in here. That's right. Never mind. Once they've done that, they will see an option to submit. And so they'll see an option to type in that document, change it however they'd like, add in whatever they would like, and then submit their document. So that's how the Google Doc Cloud assignment works. Pretty neat, pretty straightforward, and I like it a lot. You can use that with slides. You can use that with Google Draw things if you want to have little text boxes for students to fill out, like a worksheet or something, and have the worksheet as the background image and a little text box on top in Google Draw. You can do that, or in slides. You can do the same kind of deal. You can also use this in spreadsheets or in Google Docs, like I chose to do right now. So that's the first LTI that I think is really powerful. The second one we're going to build a different assignment for, and this one is going to be a new assignment. Oh, I'm in student view still. I'm going to leave the student view at the bottom there, and now I'm going to go into adding a new assignment from some CK12 material. So I'm just going to call this CK12. You probably wouldn't do that with your students. And do the exercise below is less than adequate instructions, but that's what I'm going to give right now. And then under external tool, I would click and find the CK12 tool. So the neat thing about the CK12 tool is there's got a bunch of resources, a bunch of pieces for students to work off of. But what I'm going to do is actually take some content and add in some exercises. So, for example, something I think pretty neat, some geometry. So if I want students to work off of some triangles, okay, I can see all of the different topics, like triangle congruency, okay. I'm hoping that they've got some triangle congruency exercises here for students to do. Should be neat. Okay, so I see some videos, activities. I see some practice. How cool. So what I'm going to do is click into this. This is the one I want, and I'm going to choose this one here. Side practice of triangle congruency. They need to get a certain number of these correct. Usually it's 10 correct before they complete the assignment. Once they've completed it, it marks it as done in our gradebook, which is pretty neat. So, oops, I don't want to share, sorry. Click on this one, this is the one I want. And now here I'm going to, I could preview this if I wanted to watch a little bit about it. I don't need to do that. So I'm going to click Create Assignment here to assign this to my students. Okay, but I could preview it if you want to check this out. You could do that and see kind of what it looks like. Maybe I'll give you a quick preview. Why not? We're in here. You got to get 10 right. And they're adaptive, which is cool. I mean, these are really neat, and this is available for a lot of different subject areas. So I'm going to start practicing. I can see the questions, multiple choice, they can check it, they have a scratch pad, all this stuff. Anyway, they have to get 10 in a row or 10 total right before they can be done, which is pretty cool. So I don't need to continue practicing with that. I just wanted to show you how that would work, and I'll nix out of this, and now I should be able to create this assignment Now for my students, I could create assignment and okay. And now all I do to get out of this, just like the Google Doc one, is I click select. And now it's done. So very neat. So that now can be saved and my students can go in and access that CK12 free resource. Awesome stuff available for my students. It just loads right up in there. Now this brings me to a point, because you start to see how this loads and is kind of embedded right into this assignment for students. I'm going to show you how to embed things like this into a page or an assignment. This one's nice. It's done with an LTI. Let's do it as if we're building it into a page. So how do we embed like another web page into our page? I do that using iframes, and so I'm going to show you that a little bit. Let me add a page to my module, and this page is not a module, sorry, add a page to my module. So I'm going to go add page and new page. I'm going to call this the join my Pear Deck page, because that's what I'm going to embed here, a little spot for students so they don't need to go out to Pear Deck somewhere separate. It can be right in Canvas. So I'm going to go and add that, join my Pear Deck, click on it. And so right here, basically all I want to do in editing this page is add in an iframe. So this is a little different than maybe you've seen before. The URL, I'm going to open it here in a new tab, is joinpd.com. It actually gives me a full-on URL here in a second that I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to open up this website I use, which is iframe-generator.com. You can just Google iframe generator, it'll come up, but that's how I get there, is iframe-generator.com. And all you have to do here is generate an iframe code that you can put into your Canvas page. So I say the size of the embed that I want, the width and height. That's really the only thing I dabble with here, in addition to adding the URL where I want it to point to. I can preview it if I want to see what that's going to look like, but I'm going to show you here in a second in Canvas. I just generate that code and it gives me the code that I need. So I copy it, and then I go back into my Canvas page, and under my HTML editor, I paste that. So hopefully you caught all that. Again, you may want to repeat those steps. That's not beginner moves, okay? So go back and put your Canvas Ninja pants on and go through and do that. Here's what you're going to want to do after that is then save it. And voila, this is exciting. They just see the join Pear Deck piece right there, just like they did on this web page. It's just embedded. So they can go in and join your Pear Deck and go through it just like they would otherwise right here. Okay, they can start typing in the codes or whatever, you know, like they would in Pear Deck. And they can follow along and they don't need to leave Canvas, which is pretty cool, especially if you want them kind of locked in to Canvas. You can use the app on their Chromebooks to lock them into Canvas, and they just go right here. It's pretty sweet. So anyway, with that being said, that's ways you can embed. Now, not everything embeds in an iframe. Not everything works. So you do want to try this out with different websites that you'd like to embed right in Canvas, but a lot of things work, and it's pretty slick. So we've gone through how to use a couple different assignment LTIs. Some other favorites I like include Nearpod, include the Utah's online library resources there from Gail and others. I really like the Mastery Connect one as well. It's getting better all the time. So there's all those options for you to look at. And I really like putting things in one place for students to go to so they're not jumping around the entire world of the internet, and embedding things as much as I can into Canvas using iframes. So hopefully that's been helpful. Call us over if you need some more help, and look forward to future videos about neat things you can do in Canvas.